Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into a book that's been a total game changer for so many people. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. And what's it about? It's really a journey into the weird, emotional, and, well, deeply human side of how we deal with our finances.
All right, to kick things off, let's start with a little puzzle. I want you to picture two people in your head.
Okay, so on one side we've got Ronald Reed. He was a janitor his whole life from rural Vermont. On the other side, Richard Fiscone, Harvard MBA, high-flying executive at Merrill Lynch. You know, one guy has the fancy pedigree, the other not so much. So who do you think ended up wealthier? I mean, the answer seems pretty obvious, right? Well, get this. When Ronald Reed, the janitor, passed away, he left a staggering $8 million fortune to his local library and hospital. And Richard Fiscone, the Harvard expert, around the same time, he declared bankruptcy? I mean, that sounds totally impossible, doesn't it? How on earth could a janitor do better with money than a top finance executive?
So, that incredible, kind of mind-bending story, it leads us straight to the absolute core idea of the psychology of money. You see, Housel's whole book is built on this one powerful premise. He says that doing well with money, it isn't a hard science like physics. It's not about complex formulas. It's a soft skill. And what that really means is that how you behave is way more important than how smart you are. Your patience, your temperament, that's what really moves the needle, not some fancy degree or complicated spreadsheet.
And that right there is how Ronald Reed, the janitor with patience, could end up outperforming a Wall Street executive. And what's so cool about this idea is that it kind of democratizes wealth, you know? It means financial success isn't just for the geniuses. It's for anyone who can get a handle on their own behavior. Okay, so what should you expect if you pick up this book? Well, it's not some how-to guide for picking hot stocks. Not at all. Think of it more like a collection of timeless stories and lessons about our relationship with money. So let's just jump in and take a quick look at some of the big ideas. First up, Housel talks about luck and risk and how they're really just two sides of the same coin. He tells this amazing story about Bill Gates. Part of Gates' success was just pure 1 in a million luck. His high school happened to have a computer way back in 1968. But then there's the flip side. Risk. Gates' best friend, Kent Evans, who is just as brilliant, was killed in a mountaineering accident. Another 1 in a million chance, but a tragic one. They never got to start their company together. And thinking about risk like that brings us to another huge point. The skills you need to get wealthy are basically the opposite of the skills you need to stay wealthy. You know, getting rich often means being optimistic, taking big swings, but staying rich, that's a whole different ballgame. That takes humility and a healthy dose of fear that everything you've built could vanish in an instant. Then there's this really cool concept he calls tails you win, and this chart here shows it perfectly. The idea is that in investing and maybe in life, a tiny number of massive home runs, these tail events, are responsible for almost all of the results. So what does that mean for you? It means you don't have to be right all the time. You can be wrong a lot, actually. You just have to hit it big once or twice. Now, a huge part of being able to stick around long enough for one of those tail events to happen is understanding the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And they are not the same thing. Being rich is what you see, the fancy car, the big house. It's money that's been spent. But real wealth, that's hidden. It's the money you don't spend. It's the assets that are working for you, buying you freedom and options. And that desire to look rich, to keep up with everyone else, that leads to what might be the most destructive force in finance, the social comparison trap. It's when the goalposts just keep moving. You start risking things you have and actually need for things you don't have and don't really need. It all comes down to the inability to look at your life and just say, I have enough. Okay, so all of these different ideas we've touched on, luck, risk, staying wealthy, knowing what's enough, they all build up to one final, really profound takeaway about what money is actually for. So, what's the end game here? What's the real point of having money? According to Housel, the single greatest thing money can buy isn't a faster car or a bigger house. It's freedom. It's the ability to control your own time.
The power to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I can do whatever I want today.
That right there, that is the highest dividend money pays. It's not a cash payment, it's a dividend paid in autonomy and peace of mind. And that's something that is truly priceless, worth more than any stuff you can buy.
So, at the end of the day, The Psychology of Money isn't really a book about how to get the best stock market returns. It's a collection of powerful stories that forces you to take a hard look at your own relationship with money, with greed, and with happiness. And it leaves you with one final, very powerful question to think about.